I accused my wife of cheating on me and demanded a paternity test, so she got one, and it changed my life forever. My wife has brown hair so dark it looks black, piercing blue eyes, and olive skin. I have jet black hair, dark brown eyes, and I'm slightly darker than her. We have 3 kids, 2 boys, ages 6 and 4, and a daughter who just turned 3. Here's the thing, none of them look like either of us. Our boys have reddish brown hair and hazel eyes. Our daughter is dark blonde with light brown eyes. All 3 have lighter skin than us. At first, I didn't think much of it. We both have mixed heritage, Italian, Greek, some Middle Eastern on my side. Genetics are weird, right? But from the moment our first son was born, my family wouldn't let it go. Where does that chin come from? My mother would say, studying his face. Look at those cheekbones, my sister would add. That boy stands as straight as a ruler. Who in our family does that? They'd point out hair texture, eye shape, the way my daughter laughed. I shut them down every single time. I trusted my wife completely. Then my daughter's 3rd birthday party happened. My wife's old high school friend was in town for just 2 days. He lived across the country and timing never worked out before. This time she invited him to the party. I'd never met him. He wasn't at our wedding, and his previous visits were always too brief. Then he showed up. This tall white guy, about 6'2", with dark blonde hair and hazel eyes that shifted between green and brown depending on the light. The moment my wife saw him, her face lit up. They hugged for what felt like forever. The entire party, wherever she was, he was right there. Putting food out, he was helping carry plates. Collecting trash, he was beside her with a garbage bag, laughing and talking. She introduced him around, but it was obvious he wasn't there to socialize with anyone else, just her. I watched them. My whole family watched them. The way they moved around each other so naturally. Finishing sentences, laughing at inside jokes nobody else understood. 2 hours later, he had to catch his flight. My wife walked him out. Through the window, I watched them hug again. Her head resting on his chest, his hand on the back of her head. Then he climbed into his Uber and disappeared. My mother and sister were immediately in my ear, but I didn't need their suspicions. I had plenty of my own. The resemblance was impossible to ignore. His hair matched my daughter's exactly. Those hazel eyes were identical to my son's. Even his height and build, I could see it in how my oldest was growing. The weeks after weren't pretty. I became cold, distant, picking fights over nothing. I went through her phone while she showered, questioned every text and call. My wife prefers calm conversations, but she doesn't back down when pushed. So when I finally snapped one night and accused her, told her I knew she'd been cheating, that those kids probably weren't mine, and demanded paternity tests, she came back harder than I expected. She said she'd been waiting for this day, that she'd known it would eventually come to this. She'd seen what my family had been saying for years, heard every cruel comment and insinuation. She'd watched me allow it, hoped I trusted her more than to listen to people who'd never approved of her from day one, people with nothing better to do than spread poison about everyone around them. I don't know why that pushed me over the edge. Maybe it was the truth in it, maybe it was shame. The argument exploded. We both said things we couldn't take back. Then I grabbed her upper arm and shook her, hard enough to leave bruises on her skin. Her hand came up and slapped me across the face, the sound echoing through our kitchen. The neighbors called the police. I was made to leave that night. I stayed at my parents' for 2 days, my mother saying she'd always known something was off. When I went home, the locks were changed. My wife wouldn't answer the door or her phone. I could see curtains move. She was inside but wouldn't let me in. The following week, papers arrived. My wife had filed for paternity testing on all 3 kids. She wasn't running from it. She was forcing the issue, making it official. The results came back 2 weeks later. I opened the envelope alone in my car, hands shaking. What I read explained everything and made me realize the terrible mistake I'd made. The kids were mine, all 3 of them. But there was something else in those results. Something about my own DNA that my family had been hiding from me my entire life. Something that explained why they'd been so eager to plant those seeds of doubt.